What do you need to know to pass the reading section of the CBEST exam? My name is Scott Roselle, and in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to know. We're going to look specifically at the 50 questions of the reading section of the CBEST exam, and the specific concepts most likely to show up on the test. So how do I know what I'm talking about? Well, I'm the founder of 240 Tutoring, and we provide the best study guides for the CBEST. And as I researched the test to make sure we could offer the best study guides possible, I found these very common concepts kept reoccurring on the CBEST. And I want to share these concepts with you in this video so you know exactly what to expect for your test. The reading section of the CBEST can really be divided into two areas. The first is critical analysis and evaluation, and the second is comprehension and research skills. Now, of the 50 questions, some of them will come from reading passages, and some of them are going to come from standalone questions. And some of the questions can be more difficult and more complex than others, but on the test form, on the actual test, you'll have all the information you need to answer any given question. Now, the first section we're going to look at is critical analysis and evaluation. This makes up 40% of the test. Analysis and evaluation covers your knowledge of identifying, recognizing, and determining the central ideas, the author's point of view, and the intended audience from the passage that you read. And this section is really going to focus on a few key concepts. The first one's identifying the writer's main idea. And the main idea is really just answering the simple question, what's this passage about? Why is it being written? What's it trying to communicate? Now, each passage that you read on the test is going to have a main idea. And it's going to be pretty clear what the main idea is, so don't try to overthink. Really just go with your gut and what you think the main idea of the passage is. The second thing you need to be able to do is recognize the writer's point of view, persuasion techniques, and the audience of the passage. And the writer's point of view is really just answering the question, what's the writer's opinion in what they are writing? Or how does the writer view the topic being discussed? And identifying the audience is really just answering the question, who's this passage written for, or who's this passage written to? It's not talking about the audience in the passage if it's about a play, but rather the passage is written to be read by a certain people or certain group. What's that group? And to get to a more deeper level, how does the audience affect how the writer presents what they're writing? If the writer's writing to a hostile audience, he's going to use different techniques than if he's writing to a friendly audience. And finally, you need to be able to determine the relevant information that the writer presents and how they use this information to make their case or their argument. And this can really be the trickiest part. It's tricky because you have to look at how the writer presents information. Is it presenting fact or opinion? And which one's going to better serve this author's purpose? Is it factual information or opinion information? How they present the information, what information they use, does it strengthen their argument? Does it weaken it? Being able to identify these key areas and characteristics of a text is essential to getting these kind of questions right. Now, you might be thinking, I understand this information and these concepts are familiar, but how am I going to refresh and review on all these specific concepts? Don't worry, that's why we created the 240 Tutoring Study Guide. We wanted to have you a one-stop, simple studying solution. And in our study guide, we break down all these concepts and really walk you through how to find the main idea, how to find the writer's viewpoint and the point of view. And we break it down step by step so that you don't have to study anything else but the study guide to be completely prepared to pass the test. So go to 240tutoring.com, enroll in our CBEST study guide, and make sure you're prepared and you pass it the first time. And I say that just so you have the easiest, simplest solution to prepare for this incredibly important test. Now let's look at comprehension and research. Comprehension and research questions test your ability to logically and accurately read the text and make conclusions about specific words and ideas. So these questions cover things like words, and really with words, being able to use context clues, syntax, and relevant information to find the meaning of unknown words. Or how text can change a word's meaning and how to interpret different words in different situations. So it's really looking at all the uses of words and how to find unknown words. And how context can change a word's meaning, and sometimes words have different interpretations and different meanings, even from the same text. And the second thing is ideas, and really looking at the relationship between specific and general ideas, and really working with ideas within the text. For example, arranging ideas into a logical sequence to make a point, or paraphrasing or summarizing ideas to make a point more quickly. So hopefully that gives you a much better idea about what to expect and where to go on the test. Now I know some of those ideas can be abstract, which is why we're about to give you some practice questions. And these practice questions should help bring some of these ideas to life and how you look at passages and then answer questions based on those passages. But remember, with reading questions on the CBEST, there's no penalty for a wrong answer. So make sure you answer every single question, regardless of if you're sure of the right answer. And finally, check the description below. You'll find a link to even more practice questions on the 240 Tutoring website. Oh, and by the way, if you found this video helpful, please like it, please subscribe to us so we can keep making great videos just like this for future teachers like you. And if you have a question, leave it in the comments below. I guarantee you we're gonna read every single question and respond to it pretty quickly.